Hi guys, welcome. We will be going live with Dance Depot, who are a Nikolay retailer based in Florida. I'm just going to pop the little comment thing in here now. Hi everybody, just doing the pinned comment. And we will wait for Dance Depot to join us. And then we will be going live with them. And feel free to ask any questions that you might have. No, there isn't a Grishko store in LA, but also our name is Nikolay for the US, if you didn't know already, which is Mr. Grishko's first name. Hi everybody, just give me a second. Just getting everything set up and ready to go. Here they are. Dance Depot. I'm just going to put the pinned comment. There we go. So let's join them now. And no, there are not any Nikolay stores in LA. There are Nikolay retailers though. So they're retailers, what we mean by that is stores that stock Nikolay products. And you can go on the Nikolay World website to find your nearest retailer. Let's go live with them now. I'm going to tap the button. Connecting. Hello.
Hi.
Let me just adjust mine as well. It's gone a bit high. Oops. There we go. Oh, I like the pink you've got there. Nice.
Thank you. You have her.
Oh, cool. That's cute. All Christmas themed, holiday season themed, I should say.
Yes, we're getting ready.
It's going to be a strange one this year, right?
Yeah,
For
definitely
sure.
a little different.
So would you like to introduce yourselves to the viewers and tell us a little bit of history about all of you there and everything?
Sure. My name's Ashley Kelly. I'm the owner. This is Julie.
Hello.
Hi. And this is her daughter, Eva.
Oh, hi.
They both work with me part-time. I have been the owner of the store for almost 7 years. I actually shopped here when I was a kid, which is really cool. This is where I got my first pair of pointe shoes, which is the original owner. We've been in business since 1993, so it's been 27 years. We just had our anniversary in March. And I came back in to buy a leotard for my daughter when she was 3 and found out that Shirley was trying to sell the store. And I had just decided to be a stay-at-home mom. I had stopped working, and I came home and I peeked into our bedroom and said to my husband, I think I want to buy Dance Depot, and then I ran away.
Oh, wow.
And so he thought I was crazy because I was very, very busy and was trying to slow down. But that's just not me. So
no, me neither.
Yeah. So a few months later, after going through all the things, January 3rd, we purchased the business, and it's been so fun. I love it, love it, love it.
Oh, nice. I love that. So what was it like? Did you have any retail experience prior to opening the store? Was it a bit overwhelming at first to get started?
I mean, yes, a little bit. I will say, I did have retail experience as a teenager, but not as an adult. But I had always done some type of sales. I was, experienced in sales. But being a dancer and being a retail store owner are two completely different things.
Yeah, definitely.
So obviously, I think being a dancer brings a certain, brings something to my business, of course, with having that experience. But it was a learning curve for sure. The first year I was like, I'm not changing a thing. I want to keep everything the way it is. I have to figure out what I'm doing. But obviously we're well versed now and just really, really love it.
Oh, fabulous. So tell us a little bit about the part of Florida you're in. Do you know what astounds me is, like, I've never been to Florida. I've been to many other parts of America, but not Florida. And I couldn't believe how much of a massive dance scene there is, but also the amount of dance stores and how all the dance stores do such a roaring trade. I found that super interesting.
Yeah, we're in South Daytona, which is basically the same as Daytona Beach.
Oh, nice.
We're about 5 minutes from the beach, about an hour east of Orlando. So we're about an hour to an hour and a half away from Disney.
Uh-huh.
I've lived here all my life. So I went
Wow.
30 minutes away to college and came right back home. So I love this area.
Oh, it sounds really great. So what kind of customer do you get at your store? Do you get everybody from children to adults? Do you get many adults that do ballet that come to your store for point shoe fittings as well?
We get lots of, obviously we have mostly kids, but we do get quite a few adults who take regular dance classes. Very occasionally I'll get someone who wants point shoes, but most of the time it's ballet or tap. We have a local studio that has a huge adult tap following.
Oh, wow.
And we have another local studio that has a huge adult jazz following. They dance in heels and everything. So it's a lot of fun to work with those groups.
So Peter's just joined and he's reminded us about the Nikolay fitting event that you guys have next weekend. Are you excited about that?
I'm very, very excited. I love having events at the store. I'm so excited to see the models that I don't currently work with on feet. So I have been really talking to my customers even about the way that you can customize things.
Yes.
Eva wears the Smart Point.
Oh, cool.
And, so we're excited for her to be able to have a fitting to maybe figure out some customizations for her as well.
Yes, that'd be super cool. Oh, so have you got loads of bookings in for that right now? Do you have any spaces just in case any of these guys watching want to come along?
We do have quite a few appointments. We're doing it on Saturday and Sunday, the 28th and 29th. Sunday, we have a lot of openings still. Saturday is starting to get full, so please call us, direct message us, get in contact with us somehow to get your appointment.
And for you guys that aren't aware, Nikolay have been doing many of these events across America and they've been super successful. It's also great because it gives you guys the chance to check out so many models. Because like I've said before, some of you guys aren't aware just how much variation there is in our shoes. But also the beautiful thing is you'll get the option to understand about customization. So you can truly make that pair of point shoes yours and perfect them even further, which is just, well, an amazing thing to have. So tell me a bit about your kind of experiences with our products so far with your store. Tell us a little bit about the popular items, not just point shoes, but dancewear and stuff.
Okay, so when I bought the store, we carried 2007 Pro and 2007 Pro Flex. And then a couple years later, I brought in the Nova Flex. And then recently with Nikolay, once everything switched over, I brought in the Smart Point, which I love, love, love that shoe. It's been really great. And then once I did that, I brought in a few pieces of dancewear, which is really beautiful. Eva is actually wearing a Nikolay leotard today.
Oh, nice. From the Bolshoi Stars Jewels collection.
This is my favorite. It's my favorite. I love, love,
What color one have you got on? Is it the blue or, because it comes in different colors?
It's the black. We have the blue. We have the blue on a mannequin.
Oh, nice. You'll have to show us in a second.
After. But what else? I love, love, love the jumpsuit. The sauna effect long jumpsuit. I love it. Super cute.
Yes, the heat retention wear is super popular. It's done well worldwide. And for you guys watching, that comes in many different options: the shorts, the short tard, the full length unitard, and in men's option as well. And Caitlin, we'll get round to your question very soon. Just hold tight and I'll get round to it. Can't wait to answer it. So yeah, carry on, sorry.
Oh, what else was I saying? Oh, the other Nikolay products. I don't have the ballet flats, so I haven't worked with those.
Oh, you need to get those, especially Dream Stretch.
Yeah, I've heard about them, but I haven't worked with them yet. But I mean, we love the shoes. They're very popular with our customers, especially the Pro Flex Shank is really good for our beginners that come in. That works really well. I have a few teachers who love, love, love anything Nikolay. So they're always happy with your shoes.
Oh, fantastic. So pleased to hear it. Would you like to give us a store tour and show us around?
Sure. Let me take this off and flip. Okay, I'm going to take you guys to the front of the store when you come in. So we have not a ton of space, but I feel like I do my best to maximize it.
Of course.
So let me flip it. So this is when you first come. I'm locked in. Hold on a second.
Sure, no worries.
Yeah. So when you first come in, we have a news board, so studios can give me information about events that they have. Sorry,
that's a good idea.
There's like motorcycles going outside. And then right when you come in over here, we have like a little information board. We have our cleaning supplies.
Cool.
Some cute little nutcracker stuff right here.
Aww.
We have 2 fitting areas, so I do have a lot of our shoes out on the floor because my back room is not very big. But this is our, let me see if I can back up. This is our shoe wall where we have like each of our shoes displayed.
Nice.
And so we have 1 pair of each of our pointe shoes. Sorry, those are leg tights. This is one of our local dancers.
Oh, wow.
Maya.
Fabulous.
And so this is our pointe shoe fitting area. We have our I said Susu to the shoe sign that we have everybody take
Oh, yeah. I've
with.
never seen that on your Instagram. It's so cute.
Isn't that cute? So then our second, sorry, hi girls. Our second fitting area is, this is the front of the, I guess the front of the store. But so this is where we do like tap shoes and jazz shoes and stuff over here. So usually we have ballet shoes and pointe shoe fittings over there. And then this is where we do the other stuff. We do lots and lots and lots of black fashion. So we have our adult fashion.
Nice.
Over here.
Great selection.
And then right behind here is where we have like adult shorts and colored leotards. We don't have a lot of studios that are allowed to wear colors, but I still like to have some. There's the most gorgeous Nikolay leotard.
Ultra Stars Jewels collection. It's a really quirky one, I think. I have it in the tourmaline, which is like a pink kind of shade. And I love the fact that it combines with the velvet as well. I think that's a really nice touch.
Yes, the velvet is gorgeous.
Absolutely.
It really is. We have some dance bags over here.
Oh.
We have our tights case, which we have the legs to show that we have different shades of nude.
That's a great idea.
We have a kid side and an adult side, and then we have tons of tights in the back as well. In front of the black fashion, we have our black basics. And we keep all of those together. And then with some of the studios, I keep all of their items together. So like down here, this is all for one particular studio. Specific leotards that we have to have. We have some cute Nutcracker and Christmas items.
Oh, they're adorable.
And there's our Nikolay jumpsuits. We keep skirts hanging from the top and sometimes tops too.
Nice.
We have a little gift area. And this is our Christmas gift area that we just are working on getting set up right now. With all the cute little tchotchkes.
Loads of nice little cute accessories there. Love that.
We have a small liturgical section. We do a lot of ordering for liturgical, but we keep basics in stock for them to be able to try on. And then this is our kids' black fashion on this wall.
Wow. It's amazing how much stuff you got. It's incredible.
And then we have our kids' colored leotards.
Oh, that's cute. Great selection there. Very nice.
Like our pants and stuff. We have a TV in the corner that we either show recital stuff or ballets on YouTube.
That's a cool idea.
And our like hair accessories, masks, essential oils for wellness.
Oh my, that's amazing. I love it.
And then we have another gift nook in the corner with other giftable stuff.
Well, it really is a treasure trove. You've got it all going on.
And we have.
And it just goes to prove, like, you don't need a big store to have everything that the dancer needs, you know?
Right. I really, I try. I mean, we have about 1,000 square foot out front, and I do what I can to make sure that we still have everything that they are that's close, that they're looking for.
It's really cool. I love how much stuff you've got in there. So what do your customers love the most about shopping with you guys? Why do they love to return? Do they enjoy the level of service they get? Tell us a little bit more about your kind of services that you offer.
Oh gosh, I'm sorry, I'm having trouble.
That's all right.
I mean, I would like to think that the reason that they come back is because of our exemplary customer service. It is really important to me to build relationships with my customers. I want them to feel like they're part of our family. We know their kids, the siblings, you know, all of these things. So, I mean, I would like to think that that is the main reason why they come back. I do have people who come in that have maybe shopped elsewhere or maybe shopped online and have not had a good experience. So they come in and we do our very best to meet their needs. I will bend over backwards for my customers no matter what. If people call me and they're looking for some random thing, I don't just tell them, no, I don't have it. I say, give me your name and number and I will find it for you. And
love that.
9 times out of 10, I will find it.
That's fantastic. That's what customer service is about.
Yeah. And so that's really important to me. When it comes to point shoe fittings, I definitely take my time with them and really personalize that as much as I possibly can. I keep notes about their fittings so I know what they've done, you know, what shoes they've done before.
That's important, I think.
Yeah, if we're trying something and we're like, okay, I think maybe we're going to do this time, but we might try something else next time. I'll take note of that so that way we can, so I remember it. And then they think I have this great memory, yet I have a little card that I can read from.
I do that too. It makes such a difference because, I mean, gosh, you know, the amount of dancers that you see in a year, can you imagine trying to remember all that information? It's just not possible.
Right.
But also what it means for you guys watching that maybe don't know much about how it all works in the point shoe fitting world, your feet change, your strength, your technique. You might have had an injury that you're coming back from, and it's really vital that your fitter takes this information and has it, you know, there. But also it's interesting to take notes on what you didn't like about a shoe, what you liked about a shoe, what your teacher has mentioned about technique, and that way you and your fitter can build a really good relationship in fitting. But also, as I've mentioned before on these streams, try to stay with the same fitter, you guys. Find a fitter you really like and stick with them. Don't keep fittering and flattering from one to the other, because things are going to get confusing. And even I've had it before where I'll have, you know, a parent even say to me, oh, but this fitter said this fitter said that. The problem is there is no official qualification for this. There are, you know, fitting days, brands do different fitting qualifications, but they're not proper qualifications. There is no surefire way of fitting shoes, but what makes a good fitter good at their job is the knowledge and learning and the willingness to learn throughout their career. Nobody knows everything, and it's good to work together to find the shoe, but it can get a little bit crazy if you keep going backwards and forwards between fitters. So try to keep with the same fitter. That's one of my own personal things that I like to tell people. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think when you find someone that you trust, it makes a huge difference. I mean, I have some people who drive from 3 hours away, even in the same shoe every time, because they just want to come. They want me to double check.
Absolutely.
And I agree with everything you just said. If you're going from one person to the next person to the next person, they're all going to have an opinion. We, you know, all have a certain way that we do our fittings. Nobody does it exactly the same.
Nope.
So, yeah, that's a good piece of advice for sure.
And do you know what? That just reminded me of a really common question that I get personally, and that is shank strengths. So some teachers will say, well, she's a beginner, she needs a nice, strong, sturdy shank to support her. Then I'll get teachers and something that I believe myself, where I'm saying, actually, no, we should be fitting the shank to that dancer's arch, instep, strength of her feet, any previous injuries. giving her what suits her foot, not just because she's a beginner or just because she's at a certain degree of technique. And you know, this can be a problem if you're getting in a shank too strong or a shank too soft. So much can go wrong, you guys. So you need to try to get your teacher to understand that maybe that was how they did it in the old days, but nowadays it should be more about what you personally need and what suits you. And it can be a little bit tricky sometimes getting teachers to understand that. Have you ever had that before yourself?
Yes, I do have a teacher or two who require a particular shoe for their first time students, which is not my favorite thing to do. I would much rather fit the student for what they need at the time. Most of the time, I find that the beginners that come into our store need a softer shoe. So that harder shoe is, you know, the foot is like this and the shank is like this. So there's, and then when they come in for their next fitting, it still looks that way. So I usually will explain to those dancers that for their next fitting, they will get a fuller experience of being able to try lots of different brands, and different models, and different shapes to see what works best for their foot. So that, you know, I always tell my kids that I'm fitting that I don't want them to fight the shoe. I don't want them thinking about their shoe. I want them to be able to focus on learning the proper technique and doing the things that their teacher is trying to teach them to do, not trying to figure out how to do it in a shoe that doesn't work for them.
Exactly. It drives me mad because then what you see is on Instagram, especially, you'll see these beginners trying to do, say, a chapees, and they're springing onto point and they're not rolling through their shoes. They're literally bouncing up there. Right. And you guys, it's not just ugly, but it's actually poor technique. And once you get in those bad habits, you're going to stick with those bad habits. Yes. So try to encourage your teacher to listen to the fitter, please. It does make a difference. We are here for a reason, to work together with you to get the shoe that works for you. And of course, the technologies in shoes has come on so far, so far. Even when I fitted school teachers, dance school teachers that haven't done pointe for years, and I fit them and they then realize just how far pointe shoes have come, which is nice education for them as well. Now, Caitlin, I wanted to answer your question about low arches. It's a really common one. First of all, are you on pointe already? Are you struggling right now? Now, here's the thing that can also be tricky with low arches is often, one, dancers will think that they're not getting over their shoe because of their low arch, which often isn't always the case. Sometimes it's to do with a combination of things such as the vamp height, the box shape, the profile height, the type of shank, how it's getting into their arch, how that shank's breaking in, but also your ankle flexibility. If you have a low arch combined with stiff ankles, no matter what you do with the pointe shoe, I'm sorry to say, it's not really going to work in your favor. We need you to go to a physiotherapist, get their medical opinion on it, and see where we're going to go from there. Because if the low arch is combined with a stiff ankle, that is going to be tricky. However, if we're just talking about low arches and you've got an adequate ankle flexibility, talking about Nikolay shoes, now here's where it also can go wrong, is people will often just go for the softest shank, but I want to encourage you to try as many models as you can, because we shouldn't just, for example, I've had dancers that were putting a medium shank in one of our models, but the medium in that model is harder than the medium in some of our other models. So they will often think that, oh, you know, I've got a low arch, I need a super soft shank or a pro flex shank, but it's not always the case. But if we're just thinking of models off the rack, Smart Pointe would be a really good one to start with if your foot has the right toe configuration and everything else to go with it, because it's a very, very supple shank. It's the same shank that features in the standard Triumph model. So that would be one of my ones to go to. You could experiment with Pro Flex shanks, but be cautious because they are very thin and they do, you know, if they can die quicker, depending on your strength and how much pointe work you're doing. There's so much variation, it's just mind-blowing, but work with a good fitter. You know, if you're near to Dance Depot, you can always go there. So what would you say with your experience with low arches? What do you tend to do in that situation?
Yeah, I like what you said about the ankle flexibility, because that is almost a bigger proponent for being able to get up on point than
Yes.
how good your arch is.
Yeah.
So I will, you know, girls who come in with that, I'll talk to them about exercises they can do to work on their releve and getting that ankle flexibility more mobile. And I'll take my shoes off a lot of times, and I'll stand at the bar and I'll show them my releve and where you want your releve to be, so that when you get up on point, all you're really doing is just pointing your toe, you know, you're just getting up, your ankle's already there. So, but in that case, if they have a low arch, obviously sometimes that softer shank helps, but the vamp also, having that lower vamp to really allow that foot to get up and over if they're like pulling back, if they don't have as much mobility in their foot.
Caitlin just said that she just got smart points today. Where did you get them from? Tell us. So if you find yourself still struggling in smart point, don't despair. See how you go. If you do struggle, it could be that the box shape is not quite right, or the vamp length is a problem. So you can always customize it. So you can get a little bit cut off that vamp if you need it. Or sometimes, you know what also I find interesting is sometimes even with a softer shank, it sometimes just doesn't give them that push forwards. So sometimes I can put someone, let's take for example, let's go for Nova. I could put them in a standard Nova and a medium, but if I, you know, mold the arch of the shoe directly into their arch, it will give them that push to get over there. Of course, stores can't do that until you've bought the shoe, because obviously you're not going to manipulate their shoes, are they? But just to give you a tip there, that sometimes it's about where the actual arch of the shoe is molding to you. Don't overdo it. If you've not seen it, I've made a video on how to break point shoes in. I've done some vital information in that on YouTube, because I really needed to get that across to people. They went to Releve Dance. I guess we've done a string of Releve Dance before. They are based in Carolina. So did you say that you was going to show us some point shoes today?
Yeah, I can. I have Eva here. She has dead point shoes, new point shoes, whatever you want to see.
Oh yeah, let's see it all. Let's start with a dead pair first. It'd be really cool to show people that, actually, because we haven't done that before. So also tell us a bit about your experience on point. How long has she been on point for? How much point work a week does she do?
Okay, Eva, the camera's on you, sweet girl. Okay, Eva, how old are you?
I'm 15, and I've been doing point for a little over a year.
Do you want to see her feet out of point shoes first?
Oh yes, good idea.
Okay, go ahead and stand in first. Actually, stand over here. Sorry.
Show us what you would personally do for your own fittings, because everyone's different, and I love this part too, because sometimes I learn different things.
Okay, so what I would do, Eva, come and sit back down. Okay, so I would have her, see if I can get her feet. So I would have her stand up.
Yep.
Stand in first position. So in first position, I'm kind of looking to see what her arches look like if she's holding her arches up.
Of course.
And then I have her plie, and I have her releve. You see that beautiful releve?
Wow, she's got lovely flexible ankles.
Yes, she does. Okay, come down, and then I have tendu to the right.
Nice.
Okay, tendu to the left. And then I have them stand in parallel with their feet apart just a little bit, and I check the compressibility of their feet.
Yeah, so important.
She's not very compressible.
She
is bruised right now from something unrelated to point, but she is bruised.
Ouch.
So typically I will look at their feet that way first, and then I'll talk to them about what it is that they are going to wear for, whether they're going to need spacers, toe pads, that kind of stuff. And then I explain to them, if they're a first timer, do you want her to go ahead and put her shoes on while I'm talking?
Oh yeah, sure.
Okay. Put on your, do you have dead? Okay, she has a pair of, her Nikolays are not dead yet, but she has a pair of non-Nikolay shoes that are quite dead.
Yeah, let's see them, because it'd be nice for people to see the difference between them as well.
Yeah. So if someone's a first timer, then I have like a beginning spiel and an ending spiel of what I tell them, and explain to them, you know, what to expect, what I'm looking for in the fit of the shoe, that most of what I need to know, I can tell, but I want them to kind of talk to me about what's happening with their toes inside their shoe. And I always tell them that there's no right or wrong answer. I'm not the one who has to leave there wearing the shoes. They do.
Yes, absolutely.
So I want them to be honest with me, because of course you get kids who come in that are a little bit more shy and maybe not as vocal. Then I don't want them to get in the car on the way home and tell their parents that something isn't right that they didn't tell me. So so I go through kind of what to expect during the fitting, and then we start putting shoes on.
Nice one. So also, do you tell us a little bit about how people book an appointment? Do they need to phone in advance and book one?
We do typically book by appointment only. If someone comes in and they need pointe shoes and I'm here to do a fitting, then obviously if I'm not busy with other customers, I will go ahead and fit them. But I have them pretty well trained, that they typically will call and make an appointment. We schedule that out. I tell them to wear tights, to bring their old shoes. We obviously have fitting socks with us, but I would say at least 90% of our kids come with tights, leotard, full out dance apparel.
Nice.
So I love that so much. I love
too.
it for our photos that we take.
Yes.
I love it for when we're doing the fittings, and when you're dealing with toe pads, and some studios only allow lamb's wool, and it's so much easier to hold that stuff in place with a tight instead of my little fitting socks.
Absolutely. Totally. I prefer fitting with tights too.
Yes.
So
it looks
how much pointe a week do you do usually?
I typically do about 2 hours of pointe a week. I'm gonna start a little bit more soon though.
Oh, cool. And how has your journey been with pointe work? Tell us a little bit about how it was for you when you first started pointe, to give these viewers a little bit of an insight on what it's like to be a pointe first timer, and how much you learn and progress, and how the journey is so individual for everybody.
Yeah, when I first started, I was obviously very nervous, as one would be. And I'd be very hesitant to go all the way up, or once I started going off bar, I was very uncomfortable, and I felt very oh no, I'm scared. And then eventually once I started doing it more, it was easier to just know that I'm not gonna fall over. I have my balance. I know what I'm doing. Yeah.
Do you have anything you love doing on pointe especially? Are you a turner or?
I'm not very much of a turner, but I absolutely love doing PK turns on pointe.
Oh yeah, me too. That's one of my faves also.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool. And have you done much performance on pointe so far?
I actually have not performed on pointe yet at all, because I was gonna do recital, but then COVID. So there was no ability. Yeah.
Are you guys dancing in the studios right now where you are?
Yeah, we are.
Oh, lucky. We're on another lockdown here till the 2nd of December, so no studios are open here, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Which is a bummer. I'm hoping that it will just be this second lockdown and then it'll be over. We won't have any more of these lockdowns, because I'm just done with it now.
Yeah,
I hear that for sure.
So tell us a bit about how these shoes broke down for you, because that's another thing, you guys, is the way a pointe shoe dies is a very different thing for everybody. What part of the shoe died for you the most, would you say?
It was I wore these shoes for a very, very long time, and at first it was the Shank, then my box started really going. I can when I don't have it on, I can squish it completely flat.
Sure.
Yeah, so
as you can see, she's got very nice strong arches, loads of ankle flexibility there. Could you take a fifth position on pointe from the side so we can have a little look, and then turn side on so we can
put your left
the shape? Oh wow. And as you can see, the way this shoe has died, she bananas over quite far. Yeah. And you can see that the shank is super bendy now. So you guys watching, what I always say to people how to know when their pointe shoe is dead is when you no longer feel support in the right areas, and you feel that it's very difficult to do things on pointe in class. And some shoes might die in different areas for you compared to others. So would you say that you can also feel like your toes are on the ground quite a bit as well now?
Yeah, I feel like I'm really going over my toes. Because it's like way harder to lift up out of my shoes when the shoes like plop over.
Absolutely.
She's almost like knuckling out.
Yes. Nice problem to have though. At least you've got the flexibility, right?
I know, right?
So, you know, it'd be really cool. Let's keep one of these shoes on one foot, and then we're going to put on the other foot her recent shoe that she has now.
Okay. So she, when I tried, whichever one you want, just take one. Oh yeah. When we switched her to have her try, hold on. Oops, I'm trying to flip the camera. I'm in the process of switching all my boxes too. So I will
most retailers are.
I've been talking with Alina, sending her reports of what I have and what I need and what I need
Oh,
labels
cool.
for and all of that. So we're working on that.
Nice.
But what we're trying to find her a shoe, especially as a newer dancer, a shoe that would last her a little bit longer and give her a little more support for a little bit longer. And so we actually tried her in the Smart Point since it was a newer shoe, because she doesn't have the right shape for the 2007 Pro, which would be nice and strong for her. But she really loved the shoe, but it died relatively quickly in the medium shank. So we ordered her a hard, which has worked better for her. I think she's on her second pair of hard. Is that right?
So hang on, did you say the 2007 Pro?
No, I was saying that she didn't have the right foot shape for the 2007 Pro.
So what is she in now, sorry?
She's in the Smart Point in a hard shank.
Yeah.
So
sure,
I was,
I don't know if you know, but the Smart Point shank is actually really flexible, especially even in the hard. So, I mean, yeah, there's other options I would recommend as well for her feet that she might be interested in trying. That
would you recommend the Super Triumph for her?
So looking at what I've seen so far, actually what I would be curious to try would be a Nova, especially not Nova Flex though, a Nova Pro or a Nova Standard, because the shank construction is much more stronger than Smart Point, but it's also stronger than the Flex in Nova, and because of the high wings, it's going to give a lot of stability to the sides of the feet as well. I mean, Smart Point has high wings also, as you know, but the wings and the box construction on Nova are a little bit different. Of course, Smart Point might be able to be customized to be even more better as well. Super Triumph, I'm not sure on the box shape. I think it might be a little bit too kind of broad, I think personally, but it might be worth a shot. But let's see these Smart Points, because it might give you some other ideas. Okay. Let's do from the back in first position, first of all.
Okay, go ahead, Eva.
So you guys, we're just going to see the difference here. As you can see, Smart Point is on the right foot and the old shoe's on the left. I mean, it's pretty obvious. So as you can see, in the Smart Point, this is giving her a lot of support. She's nicely pulled up. She's not going too far over, because the shoe is, it has great lifespan still in it. The high wings at the side. So the wings of a shoe make a big difference to a flexible foot, because they can really give it a lot of support, especially when they're doing one-footed work. And the nice wings in Smart Point give a lot of stability here. And would you like to be parallel from the front facing us so we can see the box shape? Oh, that's a big difference. So as you can see, the box shape on a Smart Point is more kind of to her feet. So it's more of a flattering line. And it also pulls her metatarsal up, and she's beautifully in the shoe. I also like the vamp length on her. It's a really nice vamp length. Oh, I bet you can feel the difference between these two, right?
Yeah. Quite a bit.
That's an incredible difference. And also, can you feel how much more sturdy you feel in the Smart Point? It's kind of, there's a lot more support at the sides, right?
Yeah.
Well, and what's interesting, Leanne, is that her left foot, she had an injury, and her left foot that is in the dead shoe is her weaker foot. And yet it's still that much of a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. Goodness. So let's see Smart Point on both feet as well. That'd be really cool to see. So when she was in the medium in Smart Point, how was the lifespan in the medium for her?
How long did that one last you?
I
feel like Julie, you.
I don't think I did a medium.
Oh, maybe I did do it hard from the beginning, because I think what happened is I fitted her in a medium, and she felt like she wasn't able to pull up as well. Like she felt like she was rolling over already. I think that's what happened. So I fitted her in the medium, then I ordered her the hard, and then this is her second pair of hard. But I want to say her first pair lasted, was it 10 hours on point?
Probably.
I think it was about 10 hours.
That's good. That's good going. And where did that pair die, would you say? Was it the box platform, the shank?
I do.
She has them here. Let's see. Did the shank die? I feel like she kills. Oh, it was the box, which the smart paste, which I love. That made sense to me. So
yeah.
So here's her.
Another thing I personally do with this, if there's a shoe that someone's in that features the lightweight elastic paste, also known as smart paste, for some reason they call it smart paste and smart point. I don't know why, because it's the same thing. That blows my mind a little bit, because it's going to confuse people even further, because they'd be like, well, smart point has smart paste. I'm like, don't worry, it's the same paste, it's lightweight elastic. But for you guys watching, if you didn't know, we have many types of paste, and I did a video all about it because a lot of people didn't know about it, so I did a video about it. Now, with the lightweight elastic, it's a fabulous paste, but it can die quicker on stronger feet, and it can die quicker for people that sweat a lot. So what I personally do when I've got a flexible, strong foot that enjoys a shoe with the lightweight elastic paste is I often switch it out, and I'll either switch it to the classic smart, which is more sturdy, or I will ask them to reinforce certain parts of the shoe. For example, I had someone who enjoys Super Triumph, which also features the lightweight elastic, but I wanted more support of the wings. So I asked them to reinforce the wings only, because a dancer enjoyed the feeling of the softness at the vamp where she could roll through, and she didn't like anything too hard on the metatarsals, but she wanted to reinforce those wings so the wings last longer, because the wings were part of the shoe was dying quite quickly. But then we also added extra paste in the tip of the shoe, because in the platform we discovered that if she was doing, say, a roll with a lot of hops on point and she sweats a lot, we was finding that the platform was going mushy very fast, even with using jet glue. So I asked them to put extra paste in the tip of the shoe, which worked wonders. So for you guys watching, if you're having that problem, work with your fitter to get accustomed, because you know the beautiful thing is, just because you're having a problem with a shoe, it doesn't mean you have to switch out. You can just tweak things and make it even more perfect, which is wonderful, because there's nothing worse when you love a shoe and you don't want to change, right?
Yeah, I haven't done any customizations yet, but I'm so excited about the ability to do that and how fast the turnaround is, and that they don't even charge. It blows my mind that we can offer that to our customers. I'm really excited about that option.
Yeah, because I've heard stories about other brands in the US where they've done customs and they've not got them till like 3 months later, and I'm like, what?
Yeah. It's a 10 to 12 week turnaround, and you have to pay for the custom, which it's not a lot, but just the point that you don't have to pay for it, plus it's 2 weeks, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's amazing that it's so fast, because the factory in Moscow produces so many pairs of pointe shoes a day. It actually blows my mind how they do it. I just can't get over it. And the fact that, you know, sometimes I get dancers that come to me from other brands and they're just fed up with the wait times, and then I can look and I can find them something in a similar box shape, or, you know, but I can see things I want to perfect that I can then do in our shoes. It's just a really nice thing to do. But also when I have dancers in full-time training that then realize that the shoes are lasting longer, so they haven't got to buy as many pointe shoes, and their parents are super ecstatic.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's take a look at the smart point on both feet. Okay, so if you'd like to go on point in first. Nice. And then could you do parallel from one side, so we can look at you side on in parallel and look at the shape? Lovely. So she's not going over too far in these. One thing she does get, which is very common for dancers with flexible feet, is a bit more extra fabric at the heel. So if you're watching and you're wondering why she's getting that, it's very common because of the way the foot is so flexible. And this is something else that we can work around. But unfortunately, sometimes if we go too low with the heel piece, it will have a tendency not to sit correctly, press into the Achilles tendon, but also have a tendency to keep flinging off no matter what you do. So sometimes we have to have that little extra just because, unfortunately, that's the perils of having a flexible foot. Do you get a lot of disappearing heels coming to your store?
Yes, we do. We have those, what I call floor to flip flop feet. So they're wider at the metatarsal and narrow at the heel. And then of course, I know the disappearing heel is different, but yes, we do get those. So having something with a structured heel is helpful because that extra fabric isn't as noticeable.
Absolutely.
But I just explained to them, I can't, there are some type of feet, you have to be able to fit in the shoe standing on flat.
Yes.
And sometimes when you're up on point, that means you're going to have a little bit of fabric, so
Absolutely.
I talked to them about sewing their ribbon down deep so that it pulls the fabric onto the heel more. But even if her ribbon were tugged a little bit snugger here, then that would have been smoother.
Yeah, definitely.
So I mean, this was, she's trying to work quick here for us.
Yeah. Nice. Let's have a little look from the front on point as well in parallel. It's a nice box shape on you, actually. I really like it. Let's turn out to first position. Okay, just go back with the camera a little bit. I just want to see a bit of the line. Yeah, it's good. And then could you take a fifth on point from the side, please? Could you take a little bourrée in these as well? Nice. The shank is breaking nicely. I like this shoe. Things that I would try on you if I was fitting you right now, in other terms of other models, would be a Nova Standard, Nova Pro, Miracle, Dream Point 2007. Yeah. I think anything from I would not do anything on the Fouette last because I think it's going to be too boxy for your type of foot, in my opinion. But yeah, these make such a difference compared to your old shoes.
And I haven't worked with anything on the Fouette last, so I'm not familiar with it. I was thinking more about the shank for longevity for her, but we will write down your recommendations for her.
Yeah, it'd be really cool. We should do a virtual fitting together sometime, actually. It'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
We could do it from your store, and I could help you. Do you know what would be really, really good is I could get one of my dancers in to me, and then I could show you different models on her, and then we could learn from each other.
I would love that. I will take you up on it anytime.
That'd be super fun.
I love learning new things.
Me too, because there's always something to learn from each other. I love seeing how other people fit, and I love hearing other people's stories and how they deal with certain problems with point shoes. Because as not everybody knows everything about point shoes, right?
Of course. Of course.
So yeah, how did you find the Smart Point for you? Wearing it, have you really enjoyed it in class? What have you loved about it the most?
Yeah, I feel very supported up in it because the shoes I had before were not a lot broader, but this is more tapered than the ones before, and I feel like I have a direct connection with the floor instead of kind of being more spread out.
Yeah,
I just feel very supported with the higher vamp and the way the box is.
Definitely, and it makes such a difference to the shape of your feet as well, right? Because the thing that amazes me the most is the shape of how pulled up you are. So you're not sunken in the shoe anymore. Everything is pulled right up. You haven't got to work 10 times harder to be on point because the shoe's actually giving you the adequate support in the right contact areas, which is fantastic, but also great for preventing injury as well. So dancers watching, just wanted to remind you guys, you know, if you're not sure if your shoe is dead, please reach out to your teacher and your fitter and get advice, because dancing in dead shoes can be dangerous. Even I've just tried on a dead pair once myself, and I managed to fracture a metatarsal. So it's easily done. I know.
Wow.
I couldn't believe it. I was just working on a custom order for myself, and I put on a really dead pair, but I didn't realize how dead they were, and my feet weren't warm, and I stood on point in parallel and put all my weight on one foot briefly for like 2 seconds, and I felt this most agonizing sharp pain in my metatarsal, and I thought, God, what was that? And I whipped the shoe off, and then I put my weight on it. I was like, oh no, I've done something. And it was such a burning pain. And I went to hospital, and they looked at it and did an x-ray and everything. They said, yeah, basically you fractured a metatarsal, but you won't need a cast or anything. You're just going to have to wait it out. And it was such a tedious injury to get over. It took me 8 weeks before I could even put a pair of pointe shoes on again.
Wow.
And yeah, so it goes to show it's so easily done. And just because I'm a pointe shoe fitter, it doesn't mean that I'm like, I know it all and I know what I'm doing. You know, sometimes, I mean, I would not do this to a customer, of course. But me, myself, you know, I just thought, oh, I'm only trying them on for a couple of seconds. It'll be fine. Anything can happen. Oh, so that's just incredible, really. So obviously you have Instagram. Do you have Facebook as well?
Yes.
Cool.
Yes, we have Facebook and Instagram.
And do you have a web store or
We are in the works of having e-commerce. We do have a website, but I don't have working e-commerce at the moment. It's in process. I'm just struggling with getting it done. So
sure.
It's in process. I'm working on it. But we do take phone orders and we ship. We do curbside pickup.
Oh, nice.
In-store pickup. I mean, any of that is an option. Like I said before, I pretty much will do within reason, almost anything that I can do to help my customers get what they need.
Fantastic. Love that. And for you guys that have just joined into the stream, you can watch it again when I put it on here. And don't forget, they have a Nikolay fitting event next weekend, and there are a few slots left, so please do call up. If you don't know what a fitting event is, it's where you'll have the opportunity to try on loads of our different pointe shoe models. You'll get to see some of the fashions. Maybe, I don't know if they're bringing any soft shoes, but you'll also get the opportunity to customize your pointe shoes. And there'll be a team of our fitters that will be there alongside with the fitters from the store. And you will have opportunity to ask those different questions, get all the knowledge that you need, and find that perfect pair of Nikolay pointe shoes for you. Do you have anything you want to add to this stream? We've got about 7 minutes or so left.
I don't know.
Oh, I know. Did you, you know our market influencer program?
Yes.
Have you chosen anyone for that yet?
So we are actually, we have extended our deadline. We are accepting applicants through November 30th. So since we were having the fitting event and we would potentially have more dancers in Nikolay who are potentially in a different brand, that I would extend it through the 30th of this month, so that we can have more applicants. So I'm looking forward to, so I'm looking forward to that. One of the things I could say is one of my favorite things to do is troubleshoot. So I often will have people who come to me who are having problems with their current shoes. It could be a shoe that I have fitted them in, but for whatever reason, their feet are changing, their technique is changing, they're growing, they're doing different types of point work. And so they need to figure out something else. I have some kids who love the shoe that they're in, but they're in a professional program and they're going through their shoes in less than a week. And for these parents, that's hard. It's a hard pill to swallow. So I love troubleshooting. It brings me, I'm sure you feel the same way, but it brings me so much joy to sit there and try to figure out a shoe that's going to work for whatever is going to fix that problem, switching out different toe pads, switching out what they have in their shoes. It's so fun. I love doing it.
That's the best part of the job, I think. I said
I
to
agree.
someone, do you ever get customers that get a little bit shy and they say, oh, I'm so difficult to fit, I'm so sorry, I'm such a nightmare, and you're like, hold up, nobody is a nightmare. I actually enjoy it if someone has a problem no one else has solved yet. I want to get in there and I want to help you find that solution. And if you've ever had a fitter that makes you feel that you are not welcome and you are not allowed to ask questions, or you feel uncomfortable and you feel that they want you in and out of the store quickly, they shouldn't fit shoes, in my opinion. A good point shoe fitter is someone who will communicate with you and, you know, find what's going on and sort it out for you. Nothing will be too much trouble. And even me, when I've been to loads of fittings, even when I travel abroad, I still go for fittings because I'm curious. I pretend I'm getting point shoes, you know, as a first timer adult. It's hilarious. I should do an undercover film about it because it is funny sometimes.
Oh, that would be great.
And I'll sit there and I'll ask questions, and sometimes you'll see that people who haven't got passion for the job and just care about the money side of things, how shocking it is. Because you guys shop around for your fitter, ask people who have been to that store, get reviews. Don't go buy reviews on the internet because they can be fake. Ask people at your dance studio, ask them, have you been there? What did you think about it? What was the service like? Did they rush you? How long did they spend on a fitting? All of these are key parts about finding that right fitter. If someone's going to do a quick 10-minute job, that to me is not a thorough point shoe fitting. You need someone who's really going to be taking their time with you and isn't afraid to have your teacher there either. For me, I don't care who's there. You could bring your mum, your grandma, your pet dog. I don't care. Bring whoever you want.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We definitely have, especially for first timers. I love it. The parents, the grandparents, the cameras are out. We do a little photo shoot at the end.
Yes, of course. Important.
I love it when the teachers come. And it does happen sometimes where the first shoe that I pull is the shoe that they end up going with. But I stop. And I say, okay, we're going to set this aside as a maybe.
Yes.
And we're going to see if we find something else, because I want them to have the experience of trying on.
Agree.
And I want them to feel something. If they slip something on and I know that it's too big, I want them to put it on, stand up. Or if it's too small, I want them to put it on and try to stand up if they can.
Yes.
So they can feel what is wrong so they know what is right. So,
absolutely. Couldn't agree with that.
It's about the experience. I'm proud of myself when I get it the first shot. But we keep moving, and then we come circle back. Yeah, we circle back, and sometimes they end up with that shoe. But you want to give them that experience, especially their first time. It's such a big deal.
Yeah, totally agree with that. And also, like you mentioned, when you're giving education at the start of the fitting, at the end of the fitting, that's also very crucial. I mean, my very first point shoe fitting, I went to a very well-known certain dance store in London, and I was in and out in 20 minutes. The woman did not educate me at all. She asked me, oh, how does it feel? She didn't teach me how it was supposed to feel. And I'm actually glad that my first fitting wasn't a good one, because you know what? It's made me give that first fitting experience as a wonderful one to everybody that I fit. And I know that I will never do what I went through that day.
Right.
So thanks to everybody who's tuned in for this stream. If you have any further questions, you can always ask us afterwards. I will put this up so you can watch it again. And don't forget the Nikolay fitting event next weekend at the store. Please drop them a message if you would like to book in. And also don't forget that you should give us all a follow on Instagram, Facebook, and don't forget my YouTube channel where I put up new videos straight to the point. And yeah, thank you so much for joining, and thank you so much for a great stream, and thanks to all your team as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nice to see you.
Bye. Thanks, Leanne.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.